The dispatcher's voice crackled through the radio. Unit 4, possible animal on the side of Highway 101, mile marker 23. Caller reports a small kitten, looks injured. Officer Jason Smith sighed, a familiar knot of tension settling in his stomach. Another false alarm, he thought. This was the third call about an animal on the highway today, and each time, they found nothing. But something about the dispatcher's tone made him hesitate. He knew the call was probably bogus, but he was a sucker for strays. He pulled over, the headlights illuminating the deserted stretch of highway. He scanned the shoulder, his eyes narrowing. And then he saw it. A tiny ball of ginger fur huddled on the concrete barrier, a pathetic figure against the blinding headlights. Well, looks like someone's telling the truth this time, he muttered, calling for backup. The kitten was injured, its tail burnt and mangled. Jason carefully scooped it up, the little body trembling in his hands. He felt a wave of sympathy for the tiny creature, and he knew he had to help. The vet confirmed his suspicions. The kitten had likely gotten trapped under the hood of a car and suffered severe burns. It's a miracle it survived, the vet said, looking at Jason with a mix of admiration and concern. He named the kitten Bella, and after a week of intensive care, Jason took her home. His house was already a menagerie of animals: 2 playful dogs, a snoozy tabby cat, and a grumpy parrot. Jason was surprised at how quickly Bella integrated with the others. The dogs, who had never encountered a kitten before, seemed to accept her as one of their own, nudging her with their wet noses and sharing their toys. The tabby, a cynical old soul named Whiskers, tolerated Bella with a bored indifference. But Jason saw a flicker of amusement in Whiskers' eyes whenever Bella would try to chase his tail. Her burns healed, leaving only faint scars. But there was a certain air about her, a quiet wisdom that seemed to be beyond her years. She wasn't playful like other kittens. Instead, she observed the world with an intense curiosity, her amber eyes sparkling with an uncanny intelligence. Every evening, Jason would find Bella curled up in his lap, a tiny, purring weight nestled against his chest. She wouldn't snuggle with anyone else. Only Jason could soothe her restless spirit, and he reveled in the silent companionship. One evening, as Jason was reading a book, Bella jumped onto his lap and nuzzled against his cheek. He noticed something strange, something he hadn't observed before. Bella's normally peaceful amber eyes were fixated on the window, her tiny body tense with an unfamiliar unease. He looked out the window. Yet, Bella's anxiety was palpable. She stared at the road, her body trembling. He rubbed her head gently, trying to calm her. "What is it, Bella?" he whispered. He felt a chill crawl down his spine. He knew, with a certainty that defied logic, that something was terribly wrong. Just then, a deafening roar ripped through the silence. Jason's heart hammered against his ribs as the unmistakable sound of screeching brakes and the impact of metal on metal echoed in the night. A car had skidded off the road, careening through the bushes outside his window. He ran to the window, his mind reeling. He saw a figure slumped behind the wheel. The car was smoking, the smell of burning rubber thick in the air. He knew, with an awful certainty, that if not for Bella, he wouldn't have been home. He wouldn't have been able to save that driver, that life. He rushed outside, adrenaline pumping through his veins. He called for help, his voice hoarse with urgency. His heart was pounding, but amidst the chaos, he felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. He looked back at the window. Bella was gone. She had disappeared as silently and mysteriously as she had arrived. Jason took a deep breath, his mind racing with unanswered questions. He couldn't explain it, but somehow, he knew that Bella's strange behavior was more than just a kitten's whim. She had saved his life, and he would never forget it. The next morning, Jason found a single paw print on his doorstep. It was a goodbye.